He was one of our few four-year lettermen. He made the Southern Minnesota All-Conference team twice. As far as records, and we keep track of them, this boy has scored the most assists in one game, 6. He's our second leading scorer ever in high school hockey. He went on to Bemidji, and he represented us well. He's played at Bemidji College for 3 years. In those 3 years, he was a member of a national championship team, small college championship team. This past year, he was second highest scorer on that team. And he also, maybe I shouldn't mention this, but he did set a record in most penalty minutes for Bemidji State. And you know, until Dan Boeke came along, Dan Boeke also had that record for the most penalties. But it wasn't because of dirty hockey. It was because of aggressive hockey. And boy, this guy gave 100% all the time, and we can be darn proud of him. And this is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. We've got a lot of hockey players out here. They're going to move up, play high school hockey. They're going to go on and play college hockey. The day will come when we'll have a professional hockey player. I know it. But at this time, I want to introduce just a great hockey player for us, Dan Boeke.
Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, fans, coaches and players, I feel very honored and somewhat apprehensive about this little assignment tonight. I'm not really going to talk about college hockey highlights, and if you'd gone through the season that I just went through, you wouldn't want to talk about it either. I feel that hockey is a very different and maybe a little bit more complex sport than what most people believe. I think that the above average teams and players must combine a certain amount of teamwork and discipline without losing their individual flair. This is a very sensitive balance which will differ with every team and player. I feel very fortunate in having grown up in a program where this basic philosophy seems prevalent. Owatonna Youth Hockey, from tripods on up, has been blessed with some of the most dedicated individuals and coaches anywhere. These people have prepared me, as they are or have prepared you, to play this game of hockey to the best of our ability. In noting comparisons of other teams and players, I feel that Owatonna's program stacks up as well as any other in the state of Minnesota. And at this time, I would like to sincerely thank all the dedicated individuals of Owatonna Youth Hockey who have been so very generous and so very dedicated to this program. Thank you. You know, boys, all the dedicated people in Owatonna couldn't teach you one bloody thing if you weren't interested or dedicated to this game. Hockey doesn't owe you anything, and you have no inherited right to play. You have to work and be willing to sacrifice in order to play this game. The world is full of the average Joes who can stay out late, who drink, and who use drugs. Hockey has no place for that type of individual. You might be fooling people sometimes, but the cruelest joke of all is that the world of hockey is passing you by. Hockey is a lot like life. You have to keep striving for the top, to be number one. Second best just doesn't cut it. You have to be hungry. You must want to win. You must not only want to win, but you must have to win. You've got to want it so bad that you can taste it. But if you are defeated, you must not give up, but you must keep striving harder and harder. Boys, you've got to have courage. Courage to do what is best for you and best for the team. Courage to work so brutally hard that you just feel like quitting. I've been there, and I've seen guys quit. But I've also seen guys get up and ask for more and ask for another challenge. These are the guys that I love and respect. These are the guys that came before you and played this game of hockey because they loved it. These are the same guys who practiced outside, played outside, and really paved the way for you to be able to play in a facility like this. Thanks to your parents' contributions, Owatonna Youth Hockey has been able to play their games in one of the finest arenas in the state. I know of many former players, myself included, who would give anything to be able to play their games all over again in a facility like this. Respect, along with teamwork and discipline, is one of the most important aspects of hockey. These coaches, who give freely of their time, are giving you valuable instruction, trying to help you play hockey to the best of your ability. You must respect your teammates, all who are trying their hardest to do the very same thing you are, and that is to win. The more hockey you play and the higher you go, the better the other players are. If you're fooling yourself down here and just trying to get by, you're never going to make it up there. Boys, be hungry. Strive to be the very best you can in whatever you do. You know, I have many fine memories that this game has given me, and I'm sure that someday you'll all have your own memories to look back on. I can remember when I first tried out for a traveling team. It was way back before the Pee-wees even traveled. The Phantoms always had about a week of skating, shooting, and scrimmaging before they picked a team. And I was so bad that during the first couple of days, the coaches asked me to go over and sit on the bench so that I wouldn't get hurt or be in the way. Needless to say, I didn't make the team. I was very disappointed, but I just wasn't ready to quit. More than all the memories, though, of games won and lost, and the hard work and the thrill, are the memories of all the fine people I've played with. Guys that were always ready to give 100% on and off the ice. Guys that were playing with their guts right up in their mouths. I can remember looking down the bench hundreds of times and seeing 21 other guys all pulling together and striving for victory. Each one determined not to let the other guys down. Each one determined to work up to his own ability, one shift at a time. To me, this is what hockey is all about. I've known players in my life who had $1 million legs, soda pop for guts, and 2 bits for brains. These are the guys that had talent, but were afraid to go into the corners and afraid to block the shots. I've known players like that, and I don't have time for them. Those players don't last long, and everyone on the team knows who they are. So if you yourselves decide to be dedicated to hockey, and I mean fully dedicated, remember, teamwork, discipline, and respect. Nothing pays off like hard work. And when you do work hard and honestly and accomplish the goals you've set out to accomplish, you'll realize what hockey is all about and feel great about it. Players, tonight I've tried to tell you a little bit of what hockey means to me. And I'd like to wish you all the very best of luck. No matter where or how long you play with confidence and play with all your heart, and be proud you're from Owatonna. Thank you.
And now in closing, Coach Dudley Otto describes the retiring 6 seniors from the Owatonna High School squad and also honors those boys that made the all-conference team.
Players were named to the Southern Minnesota All-Conference team this year. And certainly these 3 guys could have gone anywhere in the state of Minnesota and played for any team. Because they're all types of hockey players. We were really proud that they were named to the All-Conference team. First of all, the boy that was named honorable mention last year, and this year received the All-Conference award. Glad to work. The frames are purchased by the Lewin Company. We appreciate that. Now, one of those $20, but those one example, we appreciate that. Gilbert Friedberg came on strong this year and made all-conference recognition. Will Conway, 3rd time on the all-conference team. Also, as you know, this year we had a Southern Division of the Southern Minnesota Hockey League. That Southern Division was what we call the Big Nine. And we did name an all-conference team in the Big Nine today. I don't know if they can afford it or what, but they do not allow certificates to do that. Those St. Pete boys, Bradley Wood, Tim Peters, and Joe Conway were named to the all-conference team. And William Walters and Bobby Carlson were honorable mentions on that Big Nine team. Last of all, we would like to move out. And some of you people are familiar with the official work. And really not even think of it anymore. I guess this is the first year we've done it for the players, but some ways we have to say thanks. And we decided that it would be nice, really, they are the ones that make the program go. That is what we're looking for. And we decided that it would be nice if 7 seniors would receive an official award for their accomplishments in hockey here. And it names the years that they played varsity hockey. This guy has been super for us. He's been our manager for the past 2 years. And we can't believe how fully organized Ryden and I are. And this guy keeps us straightened out. Nobody can sit there for the box and bring the towels and the sticks and so forth. Dylan, he thinks that our equipment is always in top shape and numbered and inventory perfect because of us. But really with our managers that do the job. And we're going to miss this guy because he's done a super job for us. Great maintenance.
junior kept his nose and grindstone and thought he was going to make that varsity squad. He had some bad luck last year. He had made that, which I know was his goal. And the first time he got into the game last year, he broke his thumb. And he was out for the year, but he came back and you know, here's a guy that we wanted to get 100% out of. And you knew you were trying to do it every game. And he had every skill to you. He chose to do it, he would do it. And probably really the most consistent hockey player we had this year. We could really count on 100% out of him. And that's pragmatic. Finally, this guy, no question, was that's all of us. But the years when Owatonna and Bill Conway doing the glove for and giving us that leadership, and I think the best hockey player we've had at Owatonna. We hope that the day comes when we can say someone else is better. Bill Conway is a hell of a hockey player. And we're just really fortunate to be able to have that type of guy play for us. He was elected by his teammates as being the most valuable player this year. And I'm sorry that we brought the statistics up to date, and it isn't in there. It was supposed to be kept as a surprise. Mr. Graham might feel those special awards as they all what things. And so I guess the secret's kind of out in that booklet. But Joe was selected as the most valuable player this past year as he won the league award. But here's a guy that, and we all have to be patient. The day will come when Owatonna will be with the best. And I think Joe showing some frustration possibly, like Danny Boeke and some of the other guys, because they were Owatonna across their chest, and Owatonna isn't supposed to be one of the big names in hockey in Minnesota. It was possibly the reason why he's being overlooked by the WCHA school. I wish he could step in and play WCHA hockey. And we don't know what his plans are right now, but we're going to miss this one. Go Conway. Thanks, guys. It's great when you're working with the type of kids that we get every year. We make mistakes and the world admits that. But boy, your coaching is a pretty easy job when you've got guys that you can be associated with, like we are, or we have been every year. We've got the best guys, no question about it. I won't change them with anybody. Thank you very much. Retiring Captain Bill Conway. Think of all this.
Every year, it's all about so many thank yous to go out, to everybody who fans, everyone who can say thank you for so long. And really thank for everyone that leaves on just something much to know that you have it. And I guess specifically, we can thank the Blue Line Club for making this all possible for us. It really means a lot, I guess. We always look forward to the end of the season. We don't look forward to the end, but it's over. You can look forward to nice friends with. Of our teachers, and I guess up to the coaches. The coaches are special breed of person, I guess. The guys, you look at them sometimes and you think they're explaining. I mean, I've been to practice when you're staying on the board and just the riding going, it's only in your head, And trying to think of things and trying to set their whistle up. But it's more than that. The winning is what counts, and that they're part of it, and they've made a team win. And I guess we have nothing more than to really say thank you to them because they taught us what the game's all about, and I guess that's what counts now. So, thank you, Bill. One more, and if you have...
The Blue Line Club of Owatonna is proud to present to you some of the highlights of the 1974-1975 hockey season, featuring the Owatonna High School Indians and some of the personalities, trappings, and sounds that accompanied a most exciting season. And here they come. The Indians hit the ice at the Four Seasons. Now, Taylor, at the Four Seasons, about to introduce the Owatonna Indians just before the Jefferson game. Hockey fans, let's play hockey. Todd Hale describes the action in his own inimicable way. The Indians are at Rochester. The score is tied, and they are now in a sudden-death overtime against Mayo.
Well, don't go away. We've got an exciting year with 4-4, tied up. Owatonna 1 point in this third period of play before this overtime was ahead by 2 goals. The last goal, we still can't figure out how it went in because Buckley was wide open to see the puck. Over the corner now, into the corner, around the back of the net, picked up by the Indians in their own zone, passing it out to Brad the Word. The Word brings it out across center ice now. Nice pass to Conway. Conway, going right in front of it. And Conway wins the game. Conway puts it in. What a pass play that was. Brad the Word hit Conway on the fly, and Conway had that left defenseman a nailed shoot by a mile. He circled in his usual pattern in front of that net and tipped it to the backhand. It was a real pretty play. And that was a 5:27 mark. The Indians used a blitz for 3 minutes off the overtime, about 2.5 minutes for scoring that goal.
Bill Conway from Brad DeWord. Are you charged up? You bet you are, the same as you would be at any Indian hockey game. And now, fans, let's listen to the Bloomington Jefferson Band play at the Four Seasons in regional hockey action. The Blue Line Club also hosts the annual Christmas Classic, and this is what the coaches had to say.
Thank everybody here responsible for inviting Hastings here, and we're the best team then, and I hope it's us. Thank you. Roberts, who is also the mayor of Warroad. Hockey teams, a lot of guests. It's a pleasure for Warroad to come this far to take and play in a hockey tournament. And the mayor of Owatonna, it's funny how they always say his honor at meetings like this, but then they get you in a corner and they call everything under the sun. But I'm speaking as a hockey coach, not as a mayor. But some of you folks should have a little background on Warroad because there are some far-fetched ideas about the community. But to set the stage, we're a community of 1,100 people. We have a total of 175 boys and girls in grades 10, 11, and 12. So you see, we aren't very large. We are large in hockey tradition. You notice the programs, there's no number 16 on our program. 2 years ago, that was retired because Henry Wishy wore number 16. We travel a long ways to play hockey every year. There was a 425-mile bus ride yesterday to get
school bus all the time. The closest towns we have are Roseville, 22 miles, Quebec 36, and after that, every team we play is over 90 miles away, one way. 2,000 here from our staunchest competitors up north of Roseville, Gary Brandt, Ken Elks, and their Roseville natives. And we're putting a finger on them today because we want you to know in Region 8, Roseville is the team to beat this year. Once again, we're happy to be here. We're happy for the honorary citation and being in Owatonna. But our boys also to look at the trophy when they went up to eat. They had their eyes on it, and we have every intention of taking it back. If we don't, it's going to take a better team than us to win it. Thank you. I, as a hockey coach here at Owatonna, would also like to welcome all three teams to the Owatonna Hockey Classic. We're happy we're here. We think we have an excellent tournament for our fans. We expect good play out of all of you, and especially out of our guys, Owatonna. Last night, as you know, Warlow came in and scrimmaged Albert Lee. That was kind of a setup because we played Albert Lee before, and we thought some of our guys could sit in there and scout your characters, but it didn't work out right for us. I'm sure you're not too happy with the outcome of that game. I was surprised, though, Dick, that David Christian was using a Northland hockey stick. That didn't really make too much sense. But I asked one of the Warwood hockey players afterwards, I said, how can you travel 425 miles, 10 hours on the bus, to come and play in Owatonna? What would stir you to do that? And he said, you know, we came down here to find out if it's true that Owatonna uses double runners. A couple other things. I would like to thank Johnston's for giving the fine trophy. We measured it. We've got a place in the trophy case for it, and we expect to win it like everyone else. And I'd like to thank the Blue Line Club for doing an excellent job as usual, and especially Jerry McCraft, who's been super in organizing this for us. About 5 days ago, I called Al Godfrey, and I was setting up the last plans, and Al says, this is really bush auto. He said, on the form it says, I've got 5 minutes to talk. Now, what's going on? He says, the golden voice from Eisenhower's got to have 10. And so, Al, I'm giving you 3 minutes of my time, okay? Thank you. Thanks to everyone involved here in this tournament. We really enjoyed last year's tournament very much. Was it all last year? No, there was one last year scheduled, and I enjoyed it very much. I went skiing, but that was due to the moratorium that we had last year, and we're really happy to be invited back this year. Dudley usually doesn't do things like that. I'm sure they invited Hastings because he knew that Donnie Satcher would put me down very deep here with his golden stroke before I got a chance to talk, and then Dudley has the bad words for me right off the bat, so I know why he did join the Eagles twice, though, is because he felt he was going to eat himself into two spots, and so we have, I think he's third in the state in coaches' ratings. If you know the coach at Matamita, Warren Strehler, he's number 1. And the coach at Hibbing, George Purpich, is number 2. He wears a size 20 neck shirt. And Dudley's third was Dave Peterson, gaining season in the past year.
So I moved up to the varsity, leaving us with mostly new fellows to the high school program. And considering the position Douglas put us in with his schedule of last year, the guys had a terrific season. Going after the kind of schedule that we had this past season put the guys in a position as a young B squad team to be playing some very difficult junior varsity program teams. And when we're playing strong high school teams, of course their youth programs are strong and their B squads are strong. And it carries right on down. So the competition we had at the B squad level this year was probably the most difficult schedule we've ever had. And ending the season with 8 wins, 8 ties, and 1 loss was commendable. It will be interesting to see, of course, this next year with 6 fellows graduating from the varsity, which ones will move in to fill those shoes. Of course, we've got some shoes to fill. It's going to be a challenge, and who knows, any of the guys have that opportunity. So that will be one of the great experiences for your kids, if you can get them down to Owatonna, because of the way the Blue Line Club operates. And we really mean that sincerely. You do an excellent job for us. It's a good thing, though, that I've got Bill next to me, because we did have some problems for a while at the state tournament, because at one time I had seven teams invited to the hockey time. And next year, instead of going up there and ask people to come, we're going to wait and see which ones come to us. But at one time, we had Menominee, Hopkins Eisenhower, Virginia invited, Highland Park invited, South St. Paul came and asked if they could come down. Bart Larson was the Edina West coach. He mentioned it to us, and you can't believe it. I get myself in trouble all the time. So from now on, I think I'll let Bill handle that situation. But today we are really here to honor the kids, and I think we really had a super year. I know I'm proud of them, and I'm sure the parents, I'm sure the fans in Owatonna are proud of these guys. We had lost 14 lettermen a year ago. It looked certainly like a rebuilding year. The coach had gone out and scheduled the toughest schedule that we've had. I think Doc McEnaney pointed that out about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Of the 32 teams left in the state, we have played a number of those teams. So our schedule was really difficult for the guys to face. And to come out at the end of the year with a winning season, 12 wins, 10 losses, guys, you really pulled it off. You probably saved my neck doing it, but you really did a heck of a job, and we're proud of you. I think the turning point of the season was when we sat at 8 wins, 8 losses. And I've said this before. We had dropped the game against Albert Lee and Mayo back-to-back. Things looked pretty dismal. We were all looking at one another trying to find out what the answer was. So the guys did decide to turn the season around and go to work. From that point on, they really played good hockey. And they went out, and we faced some tough teams. And they were able to come out, which very easily, we were looking at 4 games. Bill and I were worried, we were concerned, we were looking at 4 teams that could beat us. We could have been 8 and 12 after those 4 games. But we started playing our best hockey of the year right then. And it takes some character to do that. And the guys decided they wanted to have a winning year. And we're really pleased that they went out and did it. St. Paul Academy, sure, we got trounced pretty well, 8-0. But we had some tough games prior to that where we were involved mentally. I thought physically we might have been in the game, but not between the years. But then going into the region, we played not that well against Red Wing, but we were pleased. And by the way, Red Wing has asked to come and play us next year. They're on our schedule. I think the key game was, of course, the Jefferson game. Early in the season, they beat us 5-2. They certainly thought, and I know Chuck and Eddie Tomlinson and Guy LaFrance and so forth, they felt that Jefferson was playing the best hockey right then at the end of the year. They said that as far as they were concerned, they were number 2 to Lincoln. And the guys went out there for 3 periods. You people were there and saw it. And we were pretty proud of them. Sure, we would have liked to break that jinx and got through the second game and up to the Met. But the way the guys played that game and gave us everything they got, it was super. And sure, you hate to end on a losing note, but when you end knowing that every kid gave you the best, it's all right. And going into the locker room after the game, Bill and I did mention that it really appeared to be the toughest loss we've ever had in losing in that region game. And I think it was because the guys had set their goal to get through that second game of the region. And we fell a little bit short. But at that time we told them that the day will come when Owatonna High School will get to the big show. And our 6 seniors didn't get by that second game as far as they were a long ways from the big show. But all these guys that play for us, the day we get there, the groundwork has to be laid for us to get there. And they've done that job for us. And next year we return with a lot of lettermen, and we return looking at a real tough schedule. But I know that our underclassmen learned a lot from our seniors. And I'm just confident that we'll continue to go on and play winning hockey in Owatonna, because I think, guys, you have built that in us.
The Blue Line Club extends our sincere thanks to the following for making this tape possible: Coaches Dudley Otto and Bill Ryden, Todd Hale and Ken Wilcox, the Indian and Jaguar bands, Gary Brandt, and a special thanks to Dan Boeke. This tape produced by Old Doc Puckish.